G'day guys, Willow Tassie Prepper here again. I am going to christen my dehydrator. I went to the market and they had spring onions on sale for $2 a bunch. This is one bunch, so I got 3 of these. But I got them a couple of days ago because the sale was going to end, and I've been working and have not been able to dehydrate them because my dehydrator is not at the same property. So the tops have started to discolour a little bit because they haven't been in the sunlight. They still have a root system. So what I was going to do with the root system was cut them off, put them in some dirt and see if they'll reshoot. Because this one had already started, but I broke it when I was driving. So what I've done this to the other 2 bunches, is I've got rid of all the discoloured stuff just by simply cutting it off. Now I'm just going to cut the tails root system off. So there's all my bottoms. I'll play with them later on. I'm just going to grab myself a container, clean up my mess, and I'll be back. Okay. So they've all been re-washed again, dried off with paper towel, and now simply going to cut them up. Rightio. So there is 3 bunches there of spring onions, all cut up, all patted down. You're going to see me do the last few over the sink. That was because I was getting too depressed and too emotional about cutting up the onions. It's a sad day. Anyhow, I have cleaned and got my Excalibur ready according to the directions and all the rest of it in this little booklet. However, I cannot find a setting for spring onions, so I'm going with herbs and spices. And because I'm in Tasmania and we go by Celsius, I need to set it between 35 degrees and 46 degrees. Takes approximately 2 to 4 hours, I'm assuming, depending on the size that you've cut them. Lay them in one even layer on the tray. So let's get us a tray. Now you're supposed to preheat your Excalibur, but I will do that later. When I've finished filming. Run away, run away! Not sure whether Bear Prepper actually has a spring onion one or not. I know she has a regular onion one, which was quite informative actually. So if you want to see regular onions done, look up Bear Prepper. I'll leave her link down below of the video that I was talking about. And when she does her regular onions, she suggested that if you do eat oranges and limes and lemons and things, to do a batch of those, or keep the tops and the tails from when you did them last, stick them in the freezer if you're not going to use them straight away, and then boil them in a pot while you're doing your onions, because they apparently are quite stinky. So I haven't got any oranges or limes or lemons, but I do have some vanilla scented candles and some coffee scented candles. So I'm going to, because I'm going to be watching this, because I'm just going to be too excited to leave it alone, I will burn the candles. Plus this is also next to my window, so I've got the window open. So that's made 2 trays. The other thing I've done is I've left the bottom tray, because there's only 2 trays in there, I'm only putting the 2 in, but I'm leaving the bottom tray in to hopefully catch anything that falls through that may be small enough. I don't think they will, but just in case. Oh, I can't wait. Alrighty, let's get them in. Okay. See you in a few hours. Okie dokie. Timer's gone off. So this has been going now for about 3.5 hours. Let's have a look, see. Now, I had a little bit of a problem with them. I did have them on 2 trays to start with, which was fine. It was fine while they were wet. Once they started to dry, I noticed that I was getting the ones that were dry were coming out the bottom and sitting along here. So I was forever kind of having to stand here watching, waiting for one to come out, and I'd put it in the lid. And I've got the window open, So of course that was kind of fun, catching them between when they came out and the wind. So went back to the drawing board. As they dried out a little bit more, pull these out and I'll bring them over. Whoops. I decided, and I wondered and thought, what if I used one of the sheets that I wasn't using to lay on top, so that they still get aerated when they dry out, but it might be just enough weight to keep them from flying around everywhere. And it worked. So after 3.5 hours, this is what they look like. It kind of feels like crepe paper. I'm trying to get one to show you. There we go. Kind of feels like crepe paper. So now sounds dry enough to me. I can't feel any wet ones. It doesn't feel like there's any moisture left. So I'm going to go ahead and bottle it. I'll be back with you in a minute. Well, there we have it. One bottle of spring onions, shallots, scallions, little onions, whatever you wish to name them. I've always called them spring onions because we plant them through the late winter months, and they're usually the first thing that comes through in the spring. Hence the reason, spring onions. Anyhow, thanks, Exie. It has been christened. I want to thank and give a shout out to Bear Prepper. Without her videos and her knowledge, I wouldn't have been doing this today. So I want to thank her from the bottom of my heart for taking the time and the effort doing her videos, teaching others and allowing others to learn. Happy prepping, everybody.